320,000 kilometers. Hiyo ni kama go around the earth 8 times. Wacha nikuelezee how far we go to bring you electricity.
Hapa ni substation. Substation, hata engineers wakikuja, they don't just walk in. They have to be in touch with the controllers. They ask them to give them permits ya wafanyakazi kwa any place.
Boss, hii sasa ndio final. Inaitwa transmission line. These lines transmit power from big stations like Olkaria at 200 up to 500,000 volts. Kazi yangu is to let 500,000 volts of electricity flow around me while I work so that Kenyans can get power. Hii kazi inahitaji bravery, strength, confidence, courage, hizo vitu zote. Kila saa nikiambia watu kazi mimi nafanya, wananiuliza why, na mimi nauliza why. Somebody has to do it. For them, for you. Shine on Kenya, pamoja tuangane.
Senegal star forward Sadio Mane hints his team's recent Africa Cup of Nations victory may be what he terms his last continental dance.
Francis Mondia, husband of the late gospel singer Lucy Nganga, testifies that his wife's death resulted from an alleged botched surgery performed by unqualified doctors.
And also later on in the world of business, a new cotton ginnery in Peketoni aims to revitalize the agriculture sector and make it cool and attractive to the youth.
Plus, on the cabinet, we profile a gifted orator, an apologetic Anglophile remembered for his charm.
That's right. Who is it? We'll be telling you that a little later on in the broadcast. But first things, a look at our top stories tonight. Licenses suspended.
NTSA revokes 4 public transport operator licenses following increased fatal accidents. Youth empowerment.
Government disperses 700 million shillings in Yota initiative funds to 14,000 youth in 3 counties. Plus, families of victims of the 2024 Mai Mahiu dam tragedy that left 60 people dead say they are yet to receive compensation. Good evening and thank you for joining us. A warm welcome to this live broadcast. Once again, I'm Mboya.
I am Muchuma Odim. Our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. Our sign language expert tonight is Anne Wangeshi.
Straight to our lead story now. Over 700 million shillings was disbursed Monday to over 14,000 youth from Nairobi, Kajiado and Kiambu counties under the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement at Kasarani.
President William Ruto, who oversaw the disbursement at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, said the initiative is designed for young Kenyans between 19 and 29 years and aims to expand access to capital and accelerate youth-led enterprise growth.
And that's the report that opens our coverage tonight.
President William Ruto on Monday was at the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani to oversee the Nyota Business Startup Capital Disbursement Program for the metropolis counties of Nairobi, Kiambu and Kajiado.
Waswahili wanasema hayawi hayawi. Ni leo si leo.
Each beneficiary is entitled to 50,000 shillings released in phases. Monday, the beneficiaries received the first installment of 25,000 shillings. Of this amount, 22,000 shillings is deposited directly into Pochi la Biashara accounts to support immediate business operations, while 3,000 shillings is credited to beneficiaries' Haba na Haba savings accounts under the National Social Security Fund, encouraging long-term financial security.
Kwa muda mrefu program za serikali zilikuwa zinaangazia watu wenye masomo, watu ambao wako na ujuzi, na hii Nyota program inaleta inclusivity katika mambo ya kusaidia vijana wetu wa taifa letu la Kenya.
Mimi tunawauliza kwa unyenyekevu, wakati leo utapata pesa yako, iwe ni pesa yako ya kufanya biashara, wala usifanye mambo mengine tofauti.
The head of state noting that under the broader Nyota framework, youth will have access to short-term certification courses structured on-the-job training and mentorship with master craftsmen and women. These opportunities come with monthly stipends and government-funded certification to strengthen practical skills.
Tuko na vijana walimaliza shule, tuko na vijana hawakumaliza shule, lakini hawana skill, hawana course, hawana ujuzi yoyote. Hawa vijana 90,000 tunataka tuwatafute, tumewaambia wajiandikishe kwa mtandao. Hawa vijana tutawachukua, tutawalipia pesa ya kufanya mtihani, tutawalipia pesa ya kufanya course, na tutawapatia pesa kila mwezi shilingi 6,000 waweze kwenda shuleni na kurudi nyumbani mpaka wapate ujuzi in 6 months.
Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja said all youths who received the Nyota funding will have their business permits waived for the first 2 years and urged them to utilize the money well and not view it as insufficient.
Ile biashara utaanzisha, tuna waive all business permits. Business permits, licenses, hakuna kunyanyaswa na kanjo sa ile umeingia kwa hii system.
For many of the young people present, the day marked a turning point. Beneficiaries expressing optimism, saying the project is real and that the money will go a long way in helping them to be financially independent.
I am a businessman who anafuga kuku. So natumaini kuanzia leo stock yangu itaenda kwa nitaongeza stock.
For this money, naweza anza sasa kinyozi dogo hivi, nianze biashara, nianze kujikuza from retail, niende hivyo kama nimepanda.
Your Excellency, tutahesabu 3 in 3, 2, 1, pesa mfukoni!
Launched in November 2025, the Nyota project targets vulnerable young people with little or no formal education as part of the government's strategy to address youth unemployment through entrepreneurship. Jacqueline Masharia for Prime Edition.
From that youth empowerment story to that shooting incident that we teased in the bulletin.
The Independent Policing Oversight Authority has launched investigations into a shooting incident allegedly involving some police officers from Karatina Police Station in Nyeri County on Sunday.
In a statement, IPOA chairperson Issa Hassan said that the investigations will center on the circumstances that led to the fatal shooting of George Gadhu Matheri after an alleged brief confrontation with the officers.
Yusuf Farah compiled this report.
IPOA has now moved in to investigate an alleged shooting incident at Karatina in Nyeri County, where one person lost his life. Reports from IPOA indicate that during the 18th January incident at around 11 p.m., Judge Gadhu Matheri is said to have had a confrontation with police officers on patrol before being fatally shot. Following the incident, aggrieved residents barricaded the Nairobi-Karatina highway and paralyzed the smooth flow of traffic while at the same time vandalizing nearby businesses. A rapid response team from the regional office in Nyeri has been dispatched to commence investigation and gather all relevant intel to establish the circumstances surrounding the unfortunate incident. The scene of crime has since been seized to collect crucial evidence for forensic and ballistic analysis, While condoling with the family of the late Madari, the authority is appealing to members of the public to be calm and eyewitnesses to present any information that may aid the ongoing investigations. Yusufar reporting for Prime Edition.
On to a story we teased for you at the beginning of the broadcast.
Operating licenses of 4 major public transport operators have been suspended by the National Transport and Safety Authority.
The decision follows a series of fatal crashes during the December festive season.
Now, the authority says that the operators violated safety regulations, failed to comply with the law, and breached the Code of Operations.
Mariambo reports.
In suspending the operating licenses of the 4 major PSVs, NTSA warned that the move is part of an ongoing effort to curb road carnage. NTSA says the operators failed to adhere to speed limit regulations, ignored safety audits, and violated key operational conditions. The 4 transport operators include the Guardian Coach Limited, Nanyuki Express Cab Services Limited, Mona Comfort Circle, and Green Line Company Limited. The Guardian Coach Limited operators were found guilty of fatal crash on the 6th of January 2026 at Kimende along Nairobi-Naivasha Road. They have 21 days to comply or risk the withdrawal of their licenses. 24 vehicles belonging to the company have been directed to be presented for speed limiter checks, with 18 drivers suspended for 90 days and required to go for a retest. Nanyuki Express Cab Services Limited, that caused a fatal crash on the 4th of January 2026 at Karai along Nakuru-Nairobi Highway, has also been suspended, 128 vehicles to undergo speed limiter checks, and 26 drivers suspended for 90 days. Mona Comfort Circle caused a fatal crash on the 23rd of December 2025 at Muhonje along Eldoret-Webuye Road, with their operations suspended immediately. 19 vehicles from the company are to undergo compliance inspection and drivers suspended for 90 days. On the 4th of January 2026, at Karai along Nakuru Highway, the Green Line Company Limited caused a fatal crash with their operations suspended immediately. 33 vehicles to undergo compliance inspection and 29 drivers suspended for 90 days. NTSA has also issued strict night travel safety conditions, including mandatory fatigue management systems, passenger manifests, and compliance with night route licensing. The authority has warned that any vehicle found operating despite suspension will be impounded by the Traffic Department. The public has been advised not to board vehicles belonging to the suspended operators as NTSA continues to crack down on reckless and unsafe transport operations. Mariambo reporting for the Prime Edition.
On to security matters, or better still, lack of it.
The head of public service, Felix Koskei, has lauded the current development strides experienced in the country, saying Kenyans can witness the transformation firsthand.
Speaking in Vihiga County, Koskei said that President William Ruto has demonstrated his clear plan to change Kenya for the better, and hence he deserves a second term to complete his development agenda.
Here is that report.
The head of public service, Felix Koskei, who was in Hamisi, Vihiga County, for the Battle of David Mbuya, a brother-in-law of Permanent Secretary Dr. Jane Mbuya, said the president was working overtime to ensure Kenya realizes its development goal. Koskei, while pitching for a second term for the president, said the country was witnessing change which can be felt in every corner, and that there's need to allow President Ruto continue and finish what he started.
Ili serikali endelee vile PS amesema hapa, ilete sitima, ilete maji, ilete mambo kama hiyo ya maendeleo. We have to be serious as a country. We have to be serious citizens.
The head of public service raising concerns over increased cases of illicit brew and drug abuse in the western region, describing the menace as the #1 enemy of the country, warning that if left unchecked, there will be no future generation.
Hii pombe ni dawa mbaya, ni chemicals mbaya. Inaumiza mwili, inaharibu akili, mpaka jamii yote inakwisha. So ninawaomba watu wa Vihiga, watu wa Western na Kenya nzima, ya kwamba let us be decisive and say no to illicit alcohol.
Vihiga Women Representative Dr. Beatrice Adagala, who was present, lamented the deterioration of security in the county, citing the recent killing of 2 women whose bodies were found dumped in a septic tank in Bale Township.
Mambo ya drugs and substance abuse, we are experiencing insecurity kwa sababu watu wamepotelea kwa bangi, watu wamepotelea kwa pombe haramu, na wakivuta bangi wanaanza kupiga wakina mama mangumi, wanaanza kukatakata wasichana.
She further noted that several boda operators have in recent months been attacked, robbed of their motorcycles and killed, and called on security agencies to move with speed and apprehend the culprits.
That story brings us to our first break at exactly 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up.
Unfulfilled promises, or is it?
We'll find out when we come back from this short break. Stay with us.
Imagine 24/7 monitoring system voltage and frequency to ensure it's no more, no less. Welcome to National Control Center. This is where we control the country's power generation. These screens enable us to see the entire network, the generation, and the demand. They also enable us to achieve the balance. Everything has to be at the right frequency and the right voltage within the right margins. Otherwise, we'll have poor customer power supply quality or even power system collapse. From Olkaria Geothermal, 7 Forks Hydros, and other generation sites, you have to generate power, transmit it, deliver it to the substations, all the way to the transformer, and finally to you. My name is Engineer Teacher Pamoja Doanga.
Emergency operation. I need to go now.
The president didn't answer the phone.
We've encountered this situation in China before. The doctor there sewed a biofilm on the patient's abdomen. After the swelling subsides, we can completely close the abdomen.
Xian came all the way here to see you. It's clear she's doing all she can do. What more do you want? Don't think she's weak and can't live without you.
What's wrong? I don't see Jiang Yao.
Did they disappear?
When I woke up at 5 a.m., I couldn't find Jiang Yao.
Essie, and check over there.
Jiang Yao! Mama Jiang Yao!
To Prime Edition, our socials at
KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Onto the corridors of justice now, Tom.
Now, the husband of the late Lucy Wamboyi, who died from an alleged botched cosmetic surgery, remember some time back in October of 2024 at Body by Design Clinic, has informed the court that he was against that decision.
Testifying in court, Francis Nganga Mundia told trial magistrate Christine Jagi that his wife was attended to by an unqualified doctors who caused her death.
Here now is the report.
Taking to the witness box on Monday, businessman Francis Nganga Mondia told trial magistrate Christine Jagi that he had been having sleepless nights since the death of his wife in October 2024.
Na kaniambia yule msichana mdogo kwa maana koya nimchunge sana. Ilikuwa 13 years.
Nganga told court that he did not know that our wife was going to undergo a surgery.
Nilienda wakati hiyo nikasikia akinuka sana choo. Nikauliza daktari nasa alikuwa hapo, nikamuuliza kwa nini bibi yangu ananuka choo. Akaniambia ni part of the procedure. Nikapia kijana yangu my son na my cousin watoke nje nimwangalie. Mungu hapa juu nikuta akiwa na mashimo.
Further, the court heard that he did not sign any consent at the clinic and that only his wife and cousin consented.
Tarehe 16. Kuna receipt yoyote ambayo umeonyeshwa kana kwamba alilipa? Kana kwamba aliweza kulipa after the 16?
Hakuna receipt niliona.
Hakuna receipt niliona. Pia ulieleza kwamba na wakili mwenzangu procedure ambayo ilifanywa inaitwa BBL. Ulikuwa unajua BBL ni nini?
Kuna mimi BBL ni nini because one
But during cross-examination by the lawyers representing the three accused persons on whether he knew his wife had any underlying medical condition, in the case, 4 suspects involved in Lucy Wamboy's surgery are charged with manslaughter after the Director of Public Prosecution, Renson Mulele, approved the charges on 2nd April 2025.
Hiyo kliniki yao ifungwe because one, they are not experienced. Wajasomea hiyo procedure. Na hao madaktari wameua watu wengi na kuna mahali anapelekangwa. Sasa mimi nataka judge achukue harsh sentence ndio kielelezo kwa hao madaktari badia wote.
The 47-year-old Lucy Wamboy succumbed to complications from the surgery on 26 October 2024. More witnesses are set to testify on Thursday this week, including the doctor and nurse who attended to the late Wamboy. Citing medical negligence from the facility, the emotionally charged Lucy's husband maintained her wife was in good condition before being admitted to the facility. Ruth Wamboy reporting from Kibera, Lokots.
20 months after the Mai Mahiu dam tragedy, victims are still waiting for compensation and resettlement. Frustration peaked after a youth collapsed while attempting to break the 72-hour tree-hugging challenge to compel the state to compensate the victims. Here is that report.
20 months after the Mai Mahiu dam tragedy that left over 60 people dead, the government has yet to conduct studies on the cause of the incident. Promised compensation and resettlement remains a pipe dream as the victims, some of whom knew no other home, continue to suffer in the hope that the president would keep his promise.
Majority of the injuries that were sustained by the victims were fractures, and therefore these people cannot work. Since then, they have been depending on well-wishers, donors, and people of goodwill.
Local youth was rushed to a nearby health center in serious condition after he collapsed while attempting a break of 72 tree-hugging challenge to compel the government to compensate the victims. According to the victims' chairman, Bernard Kamau, the president gave 3 promises of resettlement, compensation, and investigation into the cause of the incident.
If at all they have bought land for flood victims, let them come on board. Let them show us the land. They know us by name. They have our contact. Let them take us to where they have bought the land. Let them explain to us how they are subdividing the land. Let them even tell us who are these people that they have bought land for. Because since then, we have never been called to any meeting. And that makes us feel very bad.
Another victim, James Masharia, who also lost 2 children, said that they had been turned into beggars after all their personal effects and livestock were swept away. On her part, Hannah Njeri said that many students had dropped out of school due to lack of school fees.
Tumepeleka watoto shule, wamerudishwa nyumbani, hakuna watu wa kutushika mkono ili tuweze kusomesha wale watoto.
Patrick Choki, who tried to hug a tree for 72 hours, said that he was seeking justice for the tens of families who lost their kin in the tragedy that also left tens of other nursing various injuries.
Watu walipromisiwa ya kwamba watanunuliwa shamba mahali na wapelekwa hapa ili mtu aweze kujidumu kimaisha. Lakini hadi wa leo hawajai wana hiyo haki yao ambayo waliweza kuahidiwa.
Charles Langat, a medic from Neema Health Center, termed the condition of the youth as stable, noting that he was brought in a very weak condition after hugging the tree for 53 hours.
Upon interrogating him, we realized that he had not even taken any oral like liquid like anything, so he had not taken anything. So the first thing we did was to give him some infusion, which was dextrose. And thereafter, his condition improved. He was able to sit down and talk to us.
On to the county wrap now. Security personnel in West Pokot have been urged to crack down on illegal miners in the gold mining sites within the county.
Meanwhile, widows from Suba South constituency of Homa Bay County have been assured of government support on economic empowerment, education and land protection.
Well, these and more stories in the news making headlines in the counties as put together by Tilio Ishmael Marco.
West Pokot Sub-County Deputy County Commissioner Wycliffe Munanda said the authorities are on a fact-finding mission to secure the welfare of miners who are counting losses and decrying marginalization at the hands of illegal investors in the county. Meanwhile, widows from Suba South constituency of Homa Bay County have been assured of government support on economic empowerment, education and land protection. Head of the Minorities and Marginalized Affairs Unit, Josephat Lowoi, says the government had already approved a policy on minorities and marginalized groups, which incorporates an intersectional approach that recognizes the double disadvantage faced by women who are widows.
From these marginalized areas and the minorities are given priority in economic empowerment. They're empowered, they're uplifted because even the president set aside 500 million for bursaries and scholarships. We are going to give priority to the widows, especially from those minority areas, so that their kids can go to school, because education is...
While in Malindi, residents are now enjoying a steady water supply after the Malindi Water and Sewerage Company maintained uninterrupted services during the festive season.
I'd like to appreciate the Malindi Water and Sewerage Company for maintaining adequate water supply during the festive seasons, unlike the other years where we were to go without water during the festive season.
Finally, the Secretary General of Civil Servants Union of Kenya, Tom Odege, has reiterated his commitment to championing the allocation of hardship allowances for civil servants working in Nyatike constituency.
I'm meeting the Minister for National Treasury tomorrow, and I hope we are going to agree about it, so that come July this year, we can implement hardship allowance for those who are working in Nyatike.
Tilio Marco for Prime Edition.
And we had the Jamuri Festival going down over there, where we had the likes of Tipsy G performing.
Voi Town came alive as the Jamuri Festival transformed Club Shalex
Mario all the way from Tanzania. I told you, this is the only show that you get to meet these superstars.
Sasa nimekujaga hapa Kenya nikafanya hii sound ya pamoja na na kina Shoni ile na kina Saru. Umeona hivyo kubali. Nilikutana naye Kilimani, Nairobi.
You might or might not love rap, but like any music genre, the diamonds are beneath the surface.
Hey mister, don't keep your distance. Fikra, ndio kufanya victim.
Tonight on the Cabinet, we profile Kenya's 8th Vice President.
A gifted orator, remembered for his charm,
his generosity and also his national appeal. He was a charismatic leader, an unapologetic Anglophile, and the first of 3 vice presidents to serve during President Mwai Kibaki's 2-term presidency.
This is the life of Michael Christopher Kijana Wamalwa, as told by Jackie Wambiru.
Michael Christopher Kijana Wamalwa was born on 25th November 1944 in Sosio, a village near Kimilili in present-day Bungoma County. At birth, he was named Michael Christopher Simiyu. He was son of William Wamalwa, who served in Kenya's first post-independent Senate. Kijana Wamalwa would later become the 8th Vice President of the Republic of Kenya and the first of 3 Vice Presidents who served under Kibaki. He attended St. Joseph's Primary School in Western Kenya before transitioning to Chewoyet High School in Rift Valley province. In 1962, he joined Strathmore School, where he scored straight A's in history, English and economics, and became the best debater and school head boy. While at Strathmore, he won a national essay writing competition and represented Kenya at the United Nations Student Forum. In 1965, Wamalwa received a Commonwealth Scholarship to study law at King's College, Cambridge University. He graduated with a Bachelor of Law degree in 1968. He then studied for an intercollegiate diploma in comparative religions, earning the title Associate of King's College. He proceeded to the London School of Economics and in 1970 was called to the bar at Lincoln's Inn. He returned to Kenya to join the University of Nairobi Faculty of Law as a lecturer. During this period, he also ran his family's farming business in Kitale, served as director of the Kenya-Japan Association, and worked as general manager of the Kenya Stone Mining Company. Wamalwa made his political debut in the 1974 parliamentary election, running for the Kitale West constituency seat, present-day Saboti. He was 30 and his age worked against him. Detractors dismissed him as too young to represent his constituents and he lost to Wafula Wabuge. But he emerged from that campaign with a new name, Kijana, given by the people. In 1979, he was back in the race with the blessing of veteran politician Masinde Muliro, whose prodigy he was, and he won the seat. He would later be re-elected in 1992 and 1997. As agitation for multi-party politics gained momentum in the early 1990s, Wamalwa joined Ford Kenya, a faction of the Forum for Restoration of Democracy. In the 1992 general election, he ran for the Saboti parliamentary seat and won. He was also elected vice chairman of Ford Kenya. Following the death of opposition leader Jaramogi Oginga Odinga on 20th January 1994, Wamalwa took over the chairmanship of Ford Kenya. His elevation was contested, including by Odinga's son Raila Odinga, leading to a protracted party tussle. It was not until 1995 that Wamalwa sealed his leadership in chaotic party polls held at Thika Municipal Stadium. Soon after, Raila left Ford Kenya and took over the National Development Party (NDP). In 1997, Wamalwa ran for the presidency and finished fourth after Daniel Arap Moi, Mwai Kibaki, and Raila Odinga. In the run-up to the 2002 general election, he teamed up with other opposition figures including Charity Ngilu and Kibaki under the National Alliance Party of Kenya (NAC), founded in July 2000. NAC worked with 13 smaller parties and later expanded to include Raila's Liberal Democratic Party (LDP) and some disgruntled Kenya stalwarts. This transformation resulted in the formation of NAC, which went on to secure a landslide victory, ending Kenya's 40-year rule. In the NAC structure, Wamalwa became Kibaki's running mate and was appointed vice president when the 22-member cabinet was named. Notably, Kibaki did not assign him a ministerial docket at first. His appointment triggered mixed reactions among supporters. Many welcomed it as fulfillment of a pre-election pact. Others questioned what they termed as incomplete portfolio, arguing that without the Ministry of Home Affairs, he was only a ceremonial vice president. Wamalwa responded calmly, urging his supporters to trust the president. Kibaki later appointed him Minister for National Reconstruction. In that role, he oversaw revival efforts for projects that had collapsed under the Kanu regime, including the Nyayo T-zones, the Nyayo Bus Corporation, and the development of a national reconstruction policy. Some legislators allied to him dismissed the docket as featherweight. Wamalwa, however, showed no dissatisfaction and remained publicly loyal. Unknown to many, he held a special place in Kibaki's inner circle as a trusted advisor, a relationship that shaped the president's desire to keep his deputy's hands relatively free. But Wamalwa's vice presidency would be short-lived. In the final hours of the 2002 campaigns, Kibaki was involved in a road accident and was flown to London for treatment. During a hospital visit to Kibaki, Wamalwa also fell ill, and in early 2003 he was hospitalized in London again. After recovering, he returned to Kenya and married his longtime partner Yvonne Nambie in a memorable wedding marked by his Anglophile style. On 1st June 2003, Wamalwa traveled to Geneva, Switzerland to represent Kenya at International Labour Organization's 91st session, leading a delegation of government officials, trade unionists and employers. After 3 weeks in Geneva, he flew to London for a medical checkup accompanied by his wife and daughter. Wamalwa died in London on the morning of 23rd August 2003, becoming the first sitting vice president to die in the history of independent Kenya. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
Onto the scales of justice now. A Nairobi court has ordered Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasia to issue a public apology and spearhead a peace campaign before his hate speech case can be withdrawn.
The court declined a request by the Director of Public Prosecutions to terminate the case, insisting the legislator must fully comply with conditions set by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission first.
Milimani Senior Principal Magistrate Paul Muchai ruled that the hate speech against MP Peter Salasia will only be withdrawn after he meets specific conditions within 14 days.
The accused shall communicate to the public his apology. Secondly, the respondent, that is the accused person, to participate in a social media campaign during which the accused shall advocate for peace, cohesion, and integration within the country. And I lastly direct that the evidence of such activities be provided.
The decision followed an application by the DPP to withdraw the case, citing an out-of-court settlement with the National Cohesion and Integration Commission. However, the magistrate said there was no proof that the agreement had been implemented. Salasia is accused of publishing insightful remarks likely to stir ethnic hatred on his verified X account in May last year, allegation he has denied. The matter will be mentioned on February 2nd for confirmation of compliance. And two men accused of running a fake KCSE result schemes were on Monday presented before the Milimani Law Courts, but were released on a cash bail of 70,000 Kenya shillings each after the court declined a request by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to detain them. Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyena ruled that the prosecution had failed to present compelling reasons to warrant the detention of David Opio Odhiambo and Albert Kerry Nyandianga, who were accused of administering WhatsApp and Telegram groups with over 42,000 followers, while falsely claiming they could alter 2024 KCSE results. The court ordered the two to appear before the DCI when required and to return to court on February 2nd, 2026, as investigations continues.
The core reason.
Elsewhere, a Nairobi court on Monday had arguments on an application seeking to review bail and bond terms of Harrison Nyende Mumia, charged with spreading false information about President William Ruto online. The defense told the court that the accused has been in custody for nearly 20 days after failing to raise a bail earlier set, arguing that he's not a flight risk and that the charges are politically in nature while raising concerns about his safety in custody.
Masharti ya dhamana hayafungamani na hadhi ama cheo cha mlalamikaji. Ukiangalia katika nakala ya mashtaka, mlalamikaji ni Rais William Samoei Ruto. Mashtaka yote manne yeye ndio mlalamikaji, ingawaje amelalamika kupitia wawakilishi wake ama vikaragosi wake. Kwa hivyo tunakuomba mheshimiwa chonde umwachilie mshtakiwa kwa dhamana.
Say that bail and bond terms should not equate to pre-trial detention. Already our client has suffered. This is now 20 days. He is unable to raise the very said bail terms.
The prosecution maintained that the only obstacle in his release is the inability to trace his identification documents, including his ID and passport, and asked the court to await a pre-bail report. Presiding Magistrate Rose Ndombi deferred her ruling to Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, when the report will be unveiled.
The probation and aftercare services is directed to prepare and file a pre-bail report within 3 days from today's date.
Mumia is accused of publishing false images of president on social media in December 2025, claims he has denied. Letua Debra for Prime Edition.
Guess how long line zetu za stima ziko?
Bright moments. Moments that inspire, enlighten, and give hope, joy, and clarity. We move forward together, shining and with purpose. For years, we have been your trusted partners that have kept the path illuminated into a bright shared future. Empowering education, information, and entertainment, bringing light to homes, schools, shops, and hospitals in urban centers and villages. Our aim is to do everything possible to keep dreams alive through dedication and power. Kenya Power.
Pamoja twang'aa.
Emergency operation. I need to go now.
The president didn't answer the phone.
We've encountered this situation in China before. The doctor there sewed a biofilm on the patient's abdomen. After the swelling subsides, we can completely close the abdomen.
Shan came all the way here to see you. It's clear she's doing all she can do. What more do you want? Don't think she's weak and can't live without you.
What's wrong?
I don't see Jiang Yao.
Did they disappear?
When I woke up at 5 a.m., I couldn't find Jiang Yao.
Essie, and check over there.
Jiang Yao! Mama Jiang Yao!
Welcome to business. Now, it will cost you 9 shillings per share to buy a stake in the Kenya Pipeline Company, where government is selling 65% of its stake through an initial public offer.
National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi says the government targets to raise 106.3 billion shillings from the share sale, which will be used as seed capital for the National Infrastructure Fund.
Here's that report.
Safaricom was the last state-owned enterprise privatized through an IPO 17 years ago. And beginning Tuesday, 11.8 billion shares of Kenya Pipeline Company are on sale.
It is with great pleasure that I present to you this information memorandum for the offer for sale of 11,812,644,300 shares of Kenya Company.
Under the proposed initial public offer of the Kenya Pipeline Company shares, retail, institutional, East African community and international investors have each been allocated 20% of the shares on sale, while all marketing companies have been earmarked 15%, and the remaining 5% is for Kenya Pipeline Company employees.
The government of Kenya to hold 35%. We are offering 65%. And out of that 65%, the staff of the company will have 5% of the ownership offered to them. The oil marketing companies, 15%. The local retail investors, 20%.
Investors will be required to buy at least 100 shares at a cost of 900 shillings in the month-long share sale that begins on Tuesday.
It's what we call democratizing wealth. And we are democratizing ownership of KPC.
Proceeds from Kenya Pipeline Company share sales will be used as seed capital for the National Infrastructure Fund, with expansion of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and energy projects prioritized.
Kenya has been the logistic hub, identified even by the UN, but we cannot continue retaining that privileged position if we don't take action on our airport. And that airport must be done.
Kenya Pipeline Company posted a net profit of 7.49 billion shillings in the 2024-2025 financial year. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
On to other developments, Kenya Railways is procuring more passenger rolling stock to serve newly reopened and repaired routes amid rising demand for rail transportation.
Kenya Railways Managing Director Philip Maingi says that the rehabilitation of the Nairobi-Nanyuki, Nairobi-Kisumu and Nairobi Metropolitan Railway network has been necessitated as a result of increased passenger coaches capacity.
Alan Aoko compiled this report.
Rail transport is expected to reduce road congestion and enhance trade, with the meter gauge railway moving over 1.029 million tons of cargo in the 2024-2025 financial year. To enhance capacity, Kenya Railways has been repairing, reopening and setting up more routes on the meter gauge railway network. However, the demand is outstripping current capacity of wagons and passenger coaches.
Currently, the demand for our coaches, the one you see here, these ones actually are the ones for Western Kenya. But the demand for these coaches is now overwhelming. We don't have enough stock. Obviously now we looking through the government on how to increase the numbers.
Kenya Railways says new wagons will boost efficiency and connectivity. Speaking during the inspection of the Uplands Kijabe-Longonot railway line, whose operations were halted during the April 2024 rains, Kenya Railways Managing Director Philip Mainga said resumption of the service will boost passenger and transportation of farm inputs, farm produce, steel products and containerized cargo movements.
Totally to around 12 culverts in total along the entire section. All of them have been done. What does that mean to us today? This is our final inspection to give a clean bill of operation for our line from today. And shortly after this train leaves, cargo trains are behind. They are now coming to pass through this section.
About 12 kilometers of the railway line along Kijabe was washed away, rendering the line impassable. The incident affected rail transportation between Mombasa and neighboring countries.
To restore all the operations for MGR from here to the region, and I have said earlier, the region has been waiting for us to open this. Our customers have been asking us when we are opening the line, and we are happy to have been inspected today and to tell our customers we are ready to resume operations as from today.
Full restoration of the railway track is complete. Protection works and training works will continue, even as train operations commence within the section. Alan Oko, Prime Edition.
A new cotton ginnery nearing completion in Mpeketoni, that's in Lamu County, is transforming the region by reviving cotton farming, creating new jobs, and also drawing younger people back to agriculture, making it cool.
Lamu Farmers Cooperative Society Chairman Mwigi Mwangi says construction of the cotton ginnery is 95% complete, with installation of modern ginning machines set to begin next month.
Here's that report.
The new large-scale cotton ginnery in Mpeketoni, Lamu County, often referred to as the Lamu Cotton Ginning and Oil Extraction Plant developed, is expected to revitalize the cotton industry in the coastal region.
Kazi ambao tunafanya katika ukulima wa pamba inatupatia mapato. Ni kwa sababu ukiweza kupata ama wakati serikali imetupatia variety ambao ni mzuri, ile ya BT cotton. Kwa eka moja tuna uwezo wa kuzalisha kuanzia tani moja mpaka tani moja na nusu.
The facility is set to address the long-standing security and logistical challenges that have affected cotton farmers in the area.
The farmers in Lamu as a whole have no operational ginnery, and this applies to the entire coastal region.
The construction of the ginnery, coupled with assurance of a ready market, job creation, value addition, and an increase in cotton prices, has renewed confidence in the cash crop.
Na vijana walilima mwaka jana, mwaka juzi, na walipolima wakapata, kuna kijana moja alipata shilingi 400,000 kutoka kwa zao la pamba. Ile 400,000 ilifanya vijana wengi sana kuvutiwa na kilimo cha pamba.
Currently, there are over 10,000 cotton farmers in Lamu County.
Emergency operation. I need to go now.
The president didn't answer the phone.
We've encountered this situation in China before. The doctor there sewed a biofilm on the patient's abdomen. After the swelling subsides, we can completely close the abdomen.
Shan came all the way here to see you. It's clear she's doing all she can do. What more do you want? Don't think she's weak and can't live without you.
What's wrong?
I don't see Jiang Yao.
Did they disappear?
When I woke up at 5 a.m., I couldn't find Jiang Yao.
Essie, and check over there.
Jiang Yao, Mama Jiang Yao.
The world of governance is vast and can be alien to the ordinary man on the street.
Critical issues are going to be discussed.
From white papers to policy positions, it is easier to get lost in the labyrinth of words.
Inside Government takes you to key global metropolis where critical decisions are made. And we are
Well, now on to sports, I believe, and the Kenya Rugby Union has confirmed a major boost ahead of HSBC 7th tournament. All that coming up
with Daniel
Wahome, who's on the other studio.
Okay. All right. Tom and Irene, you want to take this away from me? Well, Max is on top. So just like happened last night, I take this one. So the Kenya Rugby Union has confirmed a major boost ahead of the 72 tournament, announcing partnerships with M-Pesa, SportPesa, Crown Paints, and Tusker. The sponsorship deals come as Kenya prepares to host one of the region's biggest rugby events, scheduled for the 14th and 15th of February. The tournament is expected to attract top rugby talent from across the world, further cementing Kenya's growing profile on the global rugby stage. KRU recently secured the hosting rights for the competition, which will feature 12 teams battling for promotion in both the men's and women's categories. In the men's competition, host Kenya will face the United States, Uruguay, Germany, Belgium, and Canada, all of them qualified through the 7-3 pathway. The women's tournament will see Kenya compete against Brazil, Spain, China, South Africa, and Argentina, also qualifiers from 7-3. KRU chairperson Harriet Okach expressed appreciation to all partners and stakeholders, including the government of Kenya, while calling for continued support as the country prepares to deliver successful international rugby events.
Go and gone! The second try of the semi-final.
It's humbling, it's huge for us because this is the first of its kind. It's not easy to be able to bid for such an event when it comes to World Rugby and actually get it. It took in a lot of late nights, a lot of calls, a lot of meetings just to be able to get to where now we are hosting.
We are rallying and calling people to come. This is the first time ever, number one. This is historic, like it's never happened here. And the boys are playing, so it's a big deal. It's like really, really exciting. So we want people to come. I think it's the best gift we could actually give the sport and the boys.
A new signing, Ive Junior Kuitama scored an 83rd minute equalizer to salvage a point for defending champions Kenya Police against Nairobi United in their FKF Premier League game that ended 1-1 today. After a goalless first half, Nairobi United went ahead courtesy of an own goal from a Novella Ochieng cross into the box in the 69th minute, but they could not hold on to that lead, slipping with only 7 minutes left on the clock as Ive equalized. The draw leaves Kenya Police in 5th position on 25 points, 8 points behind leaders Gor Mahia and 1 point above 7th placed Nairobi United.
Simiyu anaipata Edward Ondimo kwake Kotiama! Yves Kotiama anarudisha mchezoni mafanda Kenya. Combination nzuri kati yake na Edward Omondi.
And Pape Gueye scored a goal in the 4th minute of extra time to seal a second Africa Cup of Nations title for Senegal in a dramatic final against host Morocco at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat. The title came 4 years after their first title back in 2021.
The Africa Cup of Nations final produced some magical moments witnessed in football as Senegal claimed a dramatic 1-0 victory over host Morocco in Rabat, marking the Lions of Terenga's second success in the tournament.
Senegal have the early corner. Deep delivery. Back post and not too far away.
The clash between Africa's two highest-ranked sides was fittingly met with an electric atmosphere in Rabat. The extension brought another astonishing twist just a few minutes in extra time as a fast Senegal counter was picked up by Gueye, who shrugged off Ashraf Hakimi and sent a sensational left-footed strike thundering into the top corner after a goalless 90 minutes.
Sensational, stellar, supreme Senegal. Maybe in extra time they've produced the moment. And it's Pop Gueye with his third of the tournament. Senegal score their first ever goal in an Africa Cup of Nations final.
Senegal became the first side since 1982 to beat a hosting side in an AFCON final as their golden era continued by adding the title to their 2021 crown. The game was the 10th final in the last 13 editions to have ended either goalless or 1-0.
So Buckley has left you with a puzzle as to the 1982 hosts of the AFCON who lost in the final. Well, they were Libya, they lost to Ghana. So let me just solve that for you so that it goes easy and you can put some context to it. Meanwhile, Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda received the Africa Cup of Nations flag in Morocco last night after the final between the hosts and Senegal in Rabat. The receiving of the flag symbolized the honors given to the East African nations as they prepare to host the 2027 edition of the Continental Tournament. Sports Principal Secretary Elijah Mwangi and FKF President Hussein Mohammed received the flag on behalf of Kenya as PS Mwangi spoke of the preparedness and commitment of the Pamoja countries to deliver a successful tournament next year, underscoring the region's growing readiness in infrastructure, coordination and hosting capacity. And Marcus Rashford came off the bench to score for Barcelona, but the La Liga leaders lost an incident-packed game by 2-1 at Real Sociedad last night. It was Barca's third league defeat of the campaign and leaves them with 49 points from 20 games, a point clear of second-placed Real Madrid, while Sociedad have climbed up to 8th position on the table.
Mikel Oyarzabal and Goncalo Guedes scored for Real Sociedad as they beat Barcelona 2-1 in the Spanish La Liga in front of 36,000 fans at the Municipal de Anoeta Stadium. Full second half.
Reader. That's a header.
In Serie A, Paulo Dybala starred as Roma claimed a convincing 2-0 away win against Torino, scoring once and assisting Daniel Malen on his debut.
Daniel Malen does score on his Serie A debut, and he can thank Paulo Dybala for an inspired pass. Dybala saved by Pagliari. Wrench, Dybala. He's deserved that goal, Paulo Dybala. And Roma.
Niklas Füllkrug came off the bench to score the only goal for AC Milan, who beat Lecce 1-0.
Live, and Füllkrug is there! The man on the spot, just minutes after coming off the bench. And that will surely give Füllkrug something to smile about.
And that's the sport for tonight, but there's still a lot to talk about. There's golf going on, and also Morocco have said that they're going to lodge an appeal with CAF and FIFA in regards to last night's dramatic final. Full details will be coming in our bulletins tomorrow. Have a good evening. My name is Daniel Ohome. Back to Tom and Irene.
Thanks, Daniel. Of course, that's that petition that's going to be brought forward by Morocco. It's something that we would love to, of course, track for you. So make sure you join us in those subsequent bulletins. We've got to go now.
Yeah, and thank you for your time and your feedback on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. I am Muchuma Odim. Our sign language expert tonight is Anu Ngeshi.
And I'm Tom Mboya. We'll be back again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Good night from all of us.
Imekamilika. 2026 tunaingia na matarajio mema ya kumiliki shamba, nyumba, magari na zawadi zingine nyingi kupitia usaidizi na kucheza kwako. Familia yote ya Tushinde tunawatakia kila laheri, na mwaka huu uwe mwaka wako wa baraka, bahati, afya njema na mafanikio. Happy New Year.